Free sauce. It's been a minute, sir.
Free sauce. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Yes.
I don't mind giving free sauce, bro. Even last night, man, when we was at Treese, man, I chopped it up with Wild Style. I chopped it up with Just Dom. I chopped it up with Beeper. Anybody, and I'm not saying them 3 names because I think Dominic, you know what I'm saying? Like anybody that thought we like had any type of animosity or any type of smoke, we just chopped it up and cleared all the air. You know, we ain't got to agree on everything, but you got to respect the craft. You feel me? Like
Exactly.
Wild Style is really dope with the pictures. You know what I'm saying? So I had to let him know. Drew, with Art in the Park, I was like, yo, you did your thing, putting that lineup together. And,
nah, for sure.
you know what I'm saying? I let Drew know that. Free and them killed it last night. Fox did his thing.
Drew need to be in one of these battles, man. But then I ain't gonna call my man's out on this lyrical
Shout out to
prowess, man.
Freeway. Freeway went crazy last night. Like he went absolutely crazy. He had some bars, man. But Freeway is a funny individual. Like if you go to his Facebook page, I like agree with a lot of stuff he says because he just like really like got a dark sense of humor. Like, but he went in on the battle. The battle was dope. Jet did his thing. You did your thing. June did his thing. Shout out to Herd. Herd did his thing. So it was a good night, man. I had a good time, man. It was some fly shit last night.
So last night, Shreesh Fest, man. You know what I mean? It definitely went down, man. Shout out to them, man. Even, you know what I mean? A lot of people don't know, you know, some people make a big deal about the little diss record I did. It wasn't really a diss record like that. About the little record I did, though, it's talking about, don't get it fucked up. That's still the homies. I still fuck with them.
I don't think it was a diss, bro. I just thought sometimes you just need to like.
Sometimes you got to push it out in the air, man.
You just got to voice your opinion. That's all it really is, man. Exactly. That's a lot of things that people take as disses. I think it's this is a very complicated, not complicated. It's a deep conversation, but I think it's a lot of insecurities that we don't want to admit that we have, and when we get to those moments, we start projecting certain things on other people. That's not what you was doing, but I'm saying like a lot of times. So when things are said, people could take it the wrong way. That's what I'm saying. Exactly. And the reality is, it's like, nah, we just felt like a certain way, and it's cool. There ain't no animosity or anything. Like that's pretty much my conversation with everybody last night. Like, like just don't go left with us. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause.
Yeah, that's lit. It was a lot of those conversations had last night.
Yeah, that was good.
I had one of those with the brother Jay Bookins, man. Shout out to Jay Bookins, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I had one of those, hey, man, you heard the freestyle? I said, yeah, man, I was on y'all ass, man. You know what I mean? It's all love, though. You know what I mean? We talked to a lot of people, man, we've been crossing lines with, though, man. But
I don't think we're in the crossing lines. I mean, I think
I said that we have been crossing lines.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah. And the funny part is that we were 100% about that action, but I'm bro, so like I have to consciously like think things through. You got like I got some like actually my OG is a woman and people don't even know that. Like I run a lot of things by her, but and she called me today actually, asked how the show went and shit like that. But I think I'm at a point where I just got to be like the one like the calm and the rational and logical one through all the situations. So because I'm the oldest, and I think perfect segue on how the new era even started.
Yeah, but we can
because we're family and people don't know that. So
yeah, this is we'll mark this, man. Mark this on your calendar. This is the day, man. We decided, man, that we gonna actually give y'all a little tidbit, man, about the new era history, the history of the new era, 1405, the gang. You know what I mean? You know, for ones that ain't in the loop that don't know what that is.
Who came up with the name New Era?
The new era, actually, June 10th.
June 10th came up with the name.
June 10th came up with the name. So the new era together is AJ, myself. You have June 10th. You have Jet Santiago.
Yep.
You have little Chris in LA, Chris
Watts.
VIP Watts.
Yeah, Willie Dynamite's with us. Kalina's with us. You know what I mean? It's a lot of them that's with us.
It's a lot of people, man.
It's kind of like the Wu-Tang now, like, you know?
That's a part of this, man. So the whole thing, how this started, man. So once upon a time.
It actually started with you. So we're going to start with your story. You talking to my little brother.
Okay, so you know, back in my trapping days, you know, we'll say that in my trapping days when, you know, one was actually out here just moving in the streets, man, and dealing with the ladies of the night as well. But
dealing with the ladies,
I had a situation, man. Me and my cousin William, which is actually AJ's little brother.
Right. I was on the road playing basketball at the time.
I was on the road playing ball.
See, I think I need to start like really like telling my story, because when people get at me on Facebook and they try to like disrespect and stuff, like come on, man, like, do you know who you talking to? Like,
well, that's what I'm saying. That's why we giving their ass this history.
I've done
lesson.
a lot of things in life, man. It's just kind of wild. But keep going.
Yeah, so we giving them the history lesson because of things like this. So, you know, back to that, me and William he started coming back around, hanging around with me, man. You know, I was very heavily with the music at the time. I was putting out a lot of music. You know what I mean? Shout out to the homies, man. Street Life Cartel, man. You know what I mean? That's where we started at. But,
and at that time, I was traveling with N1. I was playing basketball, but I had Lil Michi. I had Michi, Free, my cousin, Ryan Freeman. Yeah. We had Free, and I had me, Michi, Free, and Isa. Yeah. And we had Focus Figures. Yep. Focus Figures. So but Michi was dope, man. And I really just did it the same way I did it with you and Jenny. It's because Michi was like my little brother. So he was rapping, he was making some dope stuff. I called Isa. Isa put it together. We put some things together, and it was a dope little movement. You know what I'm saying?
What's up? Yeah, man. So he's had background with this. I'm not knowing how much of a background my own cousin has had with this. His brother is telling me this as he's hearing my music and we moving around and taking trips and stuff like that.
Right.
So fast forward a few years later, or no, was telling me at this time, he's like, man, you and AJ, y'all need to come together and start working. Mm-hmm. Y'all need to put something together because y'all actually can make it happen. I'm like, all right, cuz I'm hearing what you're saying. We gonna, we'll see what's up. You know, you give him the typical cuz answer. All right, cuz we gonna see what's happening.
Right. And you was in the A at the time, right?
Right. No, this is when I was still up here.
Oh, okay.
This is 2010, 2009.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, we had that conversation, and, that conversation was that conversation. Fast forward a few years later, unfortunately, my cousin was also my cousin who's right here working with me now, his little brother.
Yeah.
So we had that conversation. He ended up passing.
Yeah, 2015.
And at the funeral, you remember that conversation we had at the funeral? I'm like, hey, man, William kept telling me, man, we need to work together, man, on this, man. We need to do
Bro, do you remember the funeral I left? I flew out to Atlanta and was you was there with me,
I was in the A with you. That was when I was staying I was in Atlanta when it happened.
I was in a blender, bro. I barely remember. Remember Nikki threw up the whole time? We ordered like 14 bottles of Ciroc.
Nikki threw up.
These are real stories. Yeah. Hold on. Because
you got lost. We lost you.
We lost me, right? Nikki threw up. Man, we have 14, 15 bottles in the VIP. We at the Luda Day weekend. Shout out to Big Date. It was me, Isa, and Big Date, and all them. We had Luda Day weekend. We like over the top of like the second floor, and then we had a section, and we start throwing money. And they like, yo, shout out to them niggas up there throwing money, blah blah blah. And I am in a blender. I am like gone. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not really mourning my little brother at the time, so I'm just like get fucked up. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. And when you had that conversation, at that time, I was still, I was with India at that time. Yeah, so I was back home, right? So I'm back home, and I had worked with Bren. I don't know if you know Bren. Bren was a kid, Tyron, shout out to T. He introduced me. It was That Old Life. They had a little record company. And JT and them came to me, and T wanted me to work with him and like write articles and stuff like that. So I was like, cool, I could do that. So he introduced us to Bren, and Bren's kind of like a Rod Wave type rapper. Like he had all the melodies, and he can make like dope little songs. So he had a couple songs. So me, DJ Cash, Demont, and Wimbo. Shout out to Wimbo in Columbia. We supposed to go there later on this year, so I'm gonna come see you, Wimbo. But
shout out to Wimbo.
Yeah, we go to Vegas and stay with Demont, and then we drive up to LA to introduce Bren to this record label. And we walked in there, and they loved his music. They was like, yo, we'll buy some of the songs, blah, blah, blah. And then he kind of wowed out, and it was like a weird interaction between us after that for the next 6 months, but it was whatever. But in the process of that, while I'm in L.A., Angel calls me. And Angel was like, hey, can you help my little cousins out? And I was like, who? And then she was like, Dominic and Jet. Or Dominic and Miles, it was their name. Yeah. And I was like, okay, cool. It's Angel. Like Angel's another person who's kind of, I ain't gonna say like a man, like we got a really good relationship.
No,
like,
that's the homie.
Yeah. So if Angel asks anything, I'm gonna say yes, right? Because Angel's like very resourceful, and she's one of those people you always try to take care of. So I was like, yo, Bryn has a whole trap album he doesn't even want. If they're not good, I can give it to him, right? So me and India stayed in Scandia at the time, and they came over and they rapped for about 5 minutes on this beat, and both of them was going back and forth, going in, pop, 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 and I'm like, oh shit, they can actually rap, right? And Jet had just started rapping at the time, right? And Dom had been doing it for a long time. Shout out to Dom. I seen him yesterday. I ain't seen him in a minute. He had been doing, he had been doing it for a minute. So they had been best friends their whole life. So when they came into the fold, I was like, okay, let me help them out. And then somehow you came back to Indianapolis or something. I don't know. So
the conversation, I'm gonna remind you of the conversation. Okay. So this is around the time where I was just popping in and out because I was still living in Atlanta. You know what I mean? This is when I'm popping in and out. So I had, after Cuz had passed, I had really took with that conversation to heart. And I started really paying attention to what you were doing. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, man, Cuz is the manager and business partner that I need. He doesn't even fucking know it.
And I don't want to be a manager. It's so funny. Like I got asked to be a manager like 6 times last night, bro. And I'm not even your manager. I'm like more of a, like I say, spiritual advisor or something like that. Like I just have a conscience or something.
So you are the key role player in this conglomerate that we have put together, that we have built. And so I had that conversation with you, and I was like, Cuz, I'm like, listen, man, I can't keep managing myself. I can't be the guy on the flyer and the guy walking in the venue to set up the show at the same. I can't do all that. I'm like, Cuz, you are really dope at this shit. Remember that conversation? I'm like, Cuz, you're really dope at
and
this
at the time, I didn't want to do it at all.
It was, you try to talk me out of it. Like, nah, man, I don't. I'm like,
I seen all y'all had talent. I seen Jetty and Dominic had talent, you know. But I was like, I don't know if I really want to do it. Now to piggyback off that, I got them that summer. I go to Rich Harvest. Shout out to Illy and all them, because Chris Courtney, one of my best friends growing up, he lived around the corner from me. He was a producer for Rich Harvest. Right. Shout out to Tracy May. Tracy May's the one who started the Jungle. So I go up to Rich Harvest, and Tracy, Drew, Illy, Chris, all them are there. So the first record we ever recorded was at Rich Harvest Studios. And I remember being in the studio, and Dominic, you know, he had been rapping for a while, so he knew how to, you know, whatever. Jet gets in the booth, and Jet has a great voice, right? And he's screaming. And I'm like, yo, calm down. You got a good voice. You don't have to scream in the mic. It's his first time recording, right? And then they dropped a album called 2-Pete, which I thought it should be called Back to Back, but Dominic wanted to be 2-Pete. But they just rapped on all the beats with like legendary. Because I am a super hip hop fan, right? And I understand pop culture. That's gonna be my next book is Power of Perception, like how pop culture controls us. So I understand pop culture. So when we came out with it, I was like, I need you to rap on every duo song that we thought was dope, right? Hate It or Love It, like him, Game, and 50, or, you know, like any duo song. So they took all those duo beats, made an album called 2-Pete, and they just went and just had bars all day. I didn't want them to come out trying to make music, right? It's like taking shots. You know, it's like AAU, just go out and shoot, go have fun and go play basketball. We'll figure it out. You know what I'm saying? So in that process, I remember Dom went to college. He went somewhere in Ohio, and Jetty went to Louisville. But I told both of them, like, yo, y'all both have amazing talent. Y'all got crazy bars, but what are y'all talking about? Like, y'all not have to know some type of part of life. So I told them both to read 5 books. I had just wrote a book at that time. So I told them to read mine. I told them to read The Alchemist, Celestine Prophecy, 48 Laws of Power, and The Art of War. And I felt like those 5 books can at least give you a good insight on what life's really about. The Alchemist is a spiritual book, so it's a Celestine Prophecy. Right. Art of War and 48 Laws of Power is about strategy, manipulation, all that and stuff.
Everybody that out there, man, everybody out there that hasn't read these books that he's speaking on, with the exception of AJ's book, don't read them. Don't go read none of them. You know, it's cool. We want you to not be reading them.
No. Read all of them. They're good, because I think it'll raise the consciousness. It's still not going to really deal with what we're doing, but it'll raise the consciousness. So when I told him to read them books, my book's about duality, right? Understanding the difference between love and fear. So I felt like Dominic is amazing at marketing, right? He's amazing at putting himself out there, doing the right things.
That boy know how to wiggle.
Yeah, he knows how to wiggle. So Dominic he didn't read the books. Jet went to Louisville, read the books. He got with some nice engineer. I forgot the little dude's name. He was tough. And Jet came back with heat. I remember we was in Scandy, was at the apartment, and he came back and he had some hits like Welcome to, it's all on SoundCloud if y'all want to go listen to it. Welcome to Jetty, all this stuff. And then, I don't know what happened. I think you came home then.
That's when I was still back and forth. I had come home to visit. I don't even remember why I came home. But you was like, yeah, cuz I'm up here at Rich Harvest, man. The little boys, my little guys, I sent you that video because they did that video. And you sent me that video. I was like, okay, yeah, the video was fire.
People don't understand the visions I'll be having.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
The
like
video was fire.
Because we had the range in it. And then I was like, let's go shoot it in front of Gainsbridge. And that was actually their album cover, too. It was a dope thing, man.
And so you had sent me that video, and you was like, well, the kids I sent you that video, you was like, man, they up here with me right now. We was like, what you doing? I'm like, shit, ain't nothing, I'm pulling up. Yeah, cool. Come check them out. All right, bet. I pull up. At Rich Harvest. We at Rich Harvest. Boom, we kicking it. I'm meeting them. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I seen your little video. I'm like, this shit was dope. You know what I mean? Woo. And then we chopped it up for a second. I'm like, okay, cuz I'm going to see if these niggas is really ready to rock. Hop in the car with them. Boom.
Yeah.
Car, turn on the beat. All right, write something. We about to write a song right now.
And see, that happened with T, too, with that old life. Like, I introduced T to him because I thought T would be a good mentor for him. And some shit went left. We're just gonna say that. I don't want to like really elaborate on what went left, but T had an idea of literally charging the artists like industry prices for certain things. So when they blow up, they owe this type of money, and we just didn't want to be a part of that. But he gave them like 10 beats, and they went crazy on all of them. And he actually called them. T's a marketing genius too. He called them Dom and Jetty. Remember when William passed, and then I was like Willpower.
Yeah.
T made that up. That was a thing T did. So, like, I would never take away from the genius of people. Like, T's actually musical genius. He's, like, extremely good at life and anything. Like, he's just really dope at it. So, we had did some beats with that. And, like I said, Dominic did his thing. He started dropping, like, mixtape after me. Remember he came here? And Jetty was just working on the album. He was working on Jet Wave. And, we haven't got to June him yet. So I've been knowing June since he was 16 years old. He's a hooper. He went to LN. And June was like my little brother, like Hamichi was. But June was a guy who actually respected and admired the fact that I played with N1. He would ask me to show him moves. If I came home and I had boxes and stuff, I would hand June some T-shirts or some shorts or whatever. And coming from the city, and this ain't like nothing, like I said, I'm bad, but I really didn't feel like I was getting the respect from the city, you know what I'm saying, as far as a hooper. So, but June was one of the ones was like, yo, blah, blah, blah. So when he was in college, he had sent me some music because he knew I was working with Michi now when I was doing Focus Figures. And I was like, yo, this is dope, you know what I'm saying? Like, keep going at it. So when June graduated and then he went pro, because that's we need to understand the history of who we dealing with. Yeah. June won 3 state championships in high school. He won a national championship in college, and then he went and played pro ball. Everybody on this thing is a hooper except you. But Jetty,
but I definitely got a history in balling.
Yeah. History in balling for sure. That's funny. Jet played basketball, was damn near all state. He played at some school in right in Jeffersonville. Jet was good too. I played with N1, but June was one of them kids. So when he got done playing, he had called me, and at this time I got you, Jet, Dom. You know, we building right, and I'm gonna tell you the watch story. The watch story is funny too. So yeah. I'm chilling, and June was like, yo, let me send you some songs, and he sent me Pull Up. It's still out. Go check it out. It's a dope ass video, right? Yeah. And then he sent me 4 other songs where like the auto tune and stuff was like distorted.
Fucked up the auto-tune.
Yeah, and I was like, yo, who recorded this? You know what I'm saying?
I remember that.
And then he was like, I was like, yo, I'm gonna send you somebody. And niggas been working with Dark since. And Dark is a funny story too.
We played Little League baseball with Dark.
No, Dark has been in our life. He went to church together. He's been in our life since he was a infant, damn near like a toddler. So the story with Dark is funny too. So I'm chilling, and our church gave us $50 a month. Right, $50 a month. If we just it was a scholarship for all the kids in college. The only thing is on spring break we got to take some of the high school kids in for a week, and let them have fun in college and see their college experience. Now I was Van Wilder in college. Like I stayed in college for 7 years. I was wild, but I had a great time. I was the man. I loved it. It was cool. So when they came down, it's oh, we with AJ. It's fun. We going to parties. We hooping every day. Shout out to Freaky T, my boy Troy. Was kind of like a geek, but it was my boy. I loved him. It was my dog. And he was like a computer geek, right? So when Napster had first came out, we was downloading all the music, right? And he had just downloaded Fruity Loops. It had just happened. So I asked Troy, he was an RA too. He's a resident assistant. So I was like, yo, can one of my little cousins stay with you? And he was like, yeah, cool. So while we're partying every day, everybody's staying with me. Whoever's staying in my room is going up. Like, we going hard. Dark is with Troy. Now, Dark plays the drums at church. So Troy was like, hey, you want to mess with this Fruity Loops thing? And he was like, sure. And that's when Dark started first making beats, when he was at Western Kentucky with me. So I come home, and Dark has a group, and we go to the performance, and all of Arlington's going crazy. It was some little dude with a like, and Dark's going to verify, he had like a Bugs Bunny shirt on, and he rapped like Bone. He came out like, and Dark was like, the whole crowd, they had Arlington jumping. And I was like, how did he get this good? You know, I'm in college at this time, I don't know. But when we started Focus Figures, Dark was the first person we called. He made most of our beats. He did all our, engineer. No, we went to ASMAF to record.
ASMAF. Shout out to
them. We went there to record Focus Figures, but Dark made all the beats. So when June came in, I'm like, oh, I know somebody could do this perfectly. And I introduced him to Dark, and they been like this. Like, nobody understands June sound like Dark, man. Like, shout out to Dark, man. He is literally either engineered all of our projects, or at least executive. Like, he was the final cut on the engineering.
Like this, and I will speak as an artist and say this very bluntly. There is not a project, a song that I want to do that Dark don't have his hands on. I don't want to do a song that Dark didn't touch in some way, shape, or form. I just don't.
So the thing about Dark, and people don't understand, is that he's a producer. So while he's engineering your shit, he can hear where the beat drop should go. Like, and then when doom doom doom, like, he brings it back in. And the spins back. He's a producer, so he's like really breaking it. I love to watch him and Jet work, because they're both producers. So I think that's dope. So now we got Dark, June. Where's the Watts story come from? Chris' story's funny too.
Yeah, and that look, we'll start with the Watts. And this is what's crazy. Watts was just your guy. I remember on one of them trips I came back when you and India was still together.
Yep.
Right? Y'all, Watts had a house party of some sort, and you was like, man, pull up my man.
India's little brother Josh is Watts' best friend. Right. Yeah. So I remember being at India's mother, like 50th birthday party or something like that. 50, 60, I don't know. India's mama still looks good, so it don't matter. But I was at her party, and Josh was like, yo, Watts is rapping now. And this is when you are here, Jet's here, Dominic's here, June's here. Like, we got something popping. And he was like, Watts, rap now. And I was like, for real? Play something. And he played something. It was decent. And I was like, yo, this ain't bad. Tell Watts to come fuck with us. And then Watts came into the fold. That's how it happened, because I'm sitting at a 50th birthday party, and me and Josh are just in the car chilling, and he played me Watts music, and I was like, tell him to come in the fold. Chris is by far the funniest story. Man. I am with Weave. Shout out to Weave. We had a professional. We was one of the first people with professional. Weave. Now let's start talking our shit. Now. We was one of the first people with a professional photographer to follow us everywhere we went. Right. I told everybody, every time you post a pic, make sure it looks like an album cover. I made sure the aesthetics and everything was fucking fire every single time. We slowed down and made sure the music was quality, not quantity. We just didn't throw out bullshit. We made sure the music was fly. So while we're doing that, Weave is taking family pictures for our family. And I see Chris, shout out to Todd, his dad. We's taking pictures with Todd. And I see little Chris, and I'm like, yo, you fresh, man. What do you do? He's like, I do this, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, all right, cool. He showed me his clothing line, love yourself, all that stuff. It was dope. I was like, yo,
super dope.
Yeah. No longer average was the first thing. I was like, yo, that's dope, bro. So let's work. I just wanted Jetty to have some youngest with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was it. Because we're all older than Jetty, like a lot older than he's. And I'm for you and June. Like, we're all a lot older than Jetty. So I just wanted Jetty to have some youngins with him. And I didn't know they could rap. I just thought they was fresh. Because everything for me, it's all about, like, do you got the look? I could teach you everything else. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could put you in the studio and teach you how to do whatever. But do you remember that time we was at my house and everybody just rapped and I didn't know Chris Nim can rap? Like we just threw like something on the studio. Who recorded it? Was you recording it at the time?
Yeah, I was recording it.
Yeah.
And see, that's the other thing a lot of people don't know. Like, okay, at the time we was actually building this thing. I'm technically living in Atlanta still, so I'm coming back sneaking in town for like weeks at a time. I'm coming back sneaking in the city. You know what I mean? Staying at your house and shit. You know what I mean?
And the studio was in the corner of that room where the pool table at now.
The studio in the living room. I'm setting my shit up in the living room.
It was a dope moment, man. Like it. And when you
moved
see
that little desk in there for me, I was like, sweet. You moved that little desk in there for me, boom. I set up. I'm like, bet we good. I can set up anytime I'm here.
Don't forget we had DJ Spud too. Shout out Spud, he was with us. So Spud was there. Let's rewind to Jetwave, right? So Dominic had dropped a couple albums, right? And we was like, Dom sometimes just jumps off the porch without like telling us what he's gonna do, and then we just be there to fix it, right? So he dropped some albums, and we was like, yo, it's dope, but you know what I'm saying? Like if you were to sit down with us, it could have been amazing. So he had came home one time, and it was like November or something like that. And Jet was about to drop Jetwave in December, and me, you, India, Spud, Dom, and Jetty sit in the living room, and we listened to all the songs. And India put the whole playlist together. Like we gotta give India her props too. Like we don't use her as much as we used to, but India definitely had an ear for music. And she knew how to put albums together. So we listened to it. India put the playlist together. And I felt like Don was just looking there like, damn, why didn't they do this for me? And I was like, because you didn't ask. One thing I can say is smart about Jetty is kind of like how Pusha T says it's with Kanye, right? He was like, I work with Kanye, and it works because when Kanye's ready to work, I'm there. You can't just tell Kanye, let's work. You have to put him in a position to where he has the energy, I'm going to be there. Jet is going to stay around me as much as possible until I'm ready to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's going to be there. That's smart. And he figured that out. And when we made Jetwave was crazy. It was an amazing album. And I think you had a lot of influence on Jet Younger earlier, like when he was making Witness and Polo with Gucci and Big Mad and all that stuff.
The thing about it is, you know, to rewind slightly a little bit, do you remember the first project, the first New Era project? Mm-hmm. Dripology 2. Yeah. That was the first New Era project. So we're quarterbacking off of the ride from that. Okay, bam. You know what I mean? This album that came out, boom. Everybody done had their hands in this shit. The shit came out, it's dope. So now Jet's been working this whole time on the Jetwave.
Jetwave was crazy.
Now, okay, bam. The pressure's on. Let's get this motherfucker right.
But look how we roll shit out, bro. It just makes me so mad that people don't even look at like how quality we do things. You know what I'm saying? Like Jetwave dropped on Jetty's birthday. Mm-hmm. On his birthday, he dropped a freestyle to Roll in Peace. And he literally, in the freestyle, he says every track on it. And it was hard. Like the things that we do is like, we don't just put music out, do that. We really strategically think things through. Like this year alone, like I haven't had a time to breathe, bro. I'm always out of town, right? And then we got acclimated with Free and Fox and Woogie and Skip. So now like all of the East Side's with us, right? And that's dope. But now Fox is creating an album and we all pulled up to his joint. Free's making an album. Jet and them had to pull up to his studio. It's just like June, Drunk Beautiful Girls is crazy too. Everybody shout out June right now.
Shout out June.
Yeah, that's just crazy. But just this year is just being insane as far as like the output of content. Like you making videos, Jet making videos, June making videos, Jet's doing these freestyles, the cypher. Like we could get to all that, but that this year alone is being like pure insanity. Right. But it's been good. You know what I'm saying? Like so I don't trip on that. So let's get back, pull back. We in Rich Harvest, and you come home, and you're sneaking in and out of town. And I think one of your best talents at that time was being 100% yourself, right? And your pimp lingo and all that was dope. But you had a very good talent of picking beats. Like, shout out to, DD.
DA did it, man.
DA did it, bro. Like you was picking some fire beats, and then from that, Jet is like a sponge. So he's seeing the sauce and all that, and it's like, yo, this shit's fly. So you start having them swag out on records. Like the growth of Jet has just been around great mentors. You know what I'm saying? So he started swagging at the Polo with Gucci. What's the joint I had? Well, Pop It. You had Pop It, and y'all had Big Mad, and he did Witness and Faded and all. That era of Jet was crazy. He hates that music, but that era, shout out to KJ, is fire. Witness, Faded, Big Mad, Polo Gucci. Actually, make a full circle of everything. One of Jet's first performances was at Square Cat Vinyl, where he performed every song I'm just telling you, and he never put them out. And that's where, shout out to DJ J Diff, it's Terry's my homie. We went to high school together. That's where he seen Fox at. So all this happened from Square Cat Vinyl, and Jet just performed and headlined Square Cat Vinyl with Trees. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you bought that energy, it was like, yo. And then June's always going to be June, right? June's going to be the swagged out, cool one. He going to rap about what he been through, the streets. He's like a deeper Future. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's dope. So Watts is probably the most energetic. Him and Free are two of the best performers I've ever seen.
Watts is the one that's always from day one been paying attention and soaking up the game, and motherfuckers didn't know it until you seen it.
No. Watts built a studio in his house.
Oh my God.
Watts knows how
on top of his shit.
Very, very important productions, bro. He knows how to film. He knows how to take pictures. He's 100%. I love how professional Watts is. When you just shot that video with him, he came there with his wardrobe. He had a model with him. Like he paid a model to be in the video type. Like, I'm like, yo, this is fire. Like the way he handles business. I love that. But Watts is a person who's just going like, do you remember that time? I think Drew had something. Shout out to Drew again. But it was on the West Side. I had a shirt that said Almighty on. It had like a Martin Luther King and a Malcolm X picture in the background. Nobody was there. It was like 5 people there. But I was like, all y'all perform.
Oh, that shit, that was in Murderville. It was in my neighborhood.
Yeah, I said,
High School Road.
I said, y'all perform like y'all ain't got nothing else to do. And y'all killed that shit. We've got a whole lot of dope pictures from it. Yeah. All y'all performed like it was like, yo, if it was 10,000 people out there, y'all performed like it was that. And it was dope, man. I remember that. So this is when we're coming together. I remember I had a conversation with Skip because, you know, you went down for a while, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, everything kind of went left. But I was having a conversation with Skip, and he was like, yo, I don't know what happened and why y'all stopped, but y'all niggas was really making some noise. It was some movement going on. We shot Moonwalking. Moonwalking's a funny story too. We shot Moonwalking at Ladies Love Lava. Shit was bananas. You know what I'm saying? You performed right now and Cash and all that at Ladies Love Lava. Jet performed like we was doing, and shout out to DJ Cash. I talked to him for about 2 hours yesterday. It was a good conversation, and I was talking to Cash about it, and he was like, "Yo, come up here." Like Cash was telling us, like, you got to be outside. You got to be, you know, people got to see you. You know what I'm saying? You got to be the person that they can touch and feel and stuff like that. Because I take advice from everybody if you got good advice, and that's when you went on your run. You had the Cash at the time. You had the women at the time. You was on your shit. So it was just like we was following your lead, and Jet was making like incredible music, and then June was making incredible music, and then they came together and made Jet and June. On the Jet and June, that shit was fly. And then we got look at the shit we be figuring out, bro. We got to get on the airport literally, and their photo shoots by planes.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
shout out to Weave again.
Shout out to Weave, man. Like,
shout out to Weave for setting that up, man.
Shit's crazy, bro. You know what I'm saying? On the Jet and June, and they had their little swag on it, and that first album was cool, man. It's not up there no more, but it was cool. I liked the album. It was a dope album. I liked Diamonds from Africa. Diamonds from Africa is a great story too. So keep going, and all of us together: Chris, Watts, Samo, you, June, me. We're all together, right? And we had heard some things. I'll say this, man. Like, I know we are probably extremely petty, and if we hear something, we are really about like, yo, what's up? We need to find out what that issue is. And I think at the time it was a promotion company called what was that promotion company called with Mace and Strick?
Strick and them, the End Goal,
right? And they was doing fire parties. I'm not gonna take nothing away from them, but I think they had said something about us, and I don't think it went well with Jet, and because that little nigga crazy for real. I have to calm him down consciously all the time. Like, yo, don't be snapping on everybody. But I think they said something. I don't know if it went well with June or Jet or me. Because I'm the problem too. I'm not gonna lie. Somebody say something, I really be wanting to pull up. But Yudi, which is Jetty's father, got us a gig to open up for Gunner. And
I remember the Gunner show.
And Weave was there. Got a whole lot of dope pictures from that, right?
Yeah.
And Gunna show was like the moment I knew y'all could make it, right?
We did
So
our promotional shit that time. Remember, we had Chris and Samo. They was
look
hitting the crowd with flyers while we was out there.
it's nothing personal to anybody. These stories are just stories, right?
Yeah.
So we're there and we got the last show before Gunna comes out, right? So imagine being in the crowd and you see 10 local acts. You're tired, right? Paris had just came down and shut that shit down, right? And the crowd is hyped. Beeper's there, right? B Swift is there. And I don't think he did this on purpose. He didn't know us at this time. You know what I'm saying? But he was like, Gunner, 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 Gunner. And the crowd starts saying Gunner. But we still have to perform.
Yeah, I remember that.
Right? So we had an intro that started with Sam Cooke. I was born on a river. So the intro starts, but the beat comes in crazy. And it's Jet and June. And they come out, and all of us run to the top of the stage. Jet still got the footage. I should tell him to put it out. And the crowd goes crazy. We're not gonna. They could have easily booed us, right?
Exactly.
The intro comes in, boom, go crazy, right? And Jet do a song, June do a song. They had like a 10, 15-minute set. And they end with Diamonds from Africa. And in the Diamonds from Africa, he said, you ain't stick to the strict code. Like, we're seeing shit, right? Here's the funny part about our recklessness. Like, people don't understand how reckless we are. While we're saying this, while they're rapping, Watts turns and looks at the end goal and DJ Strick and all them and is rapping the lyrics to him. Like, this is funny as shit, right? And June gets my diamonds from Africa. Everybody starts going crazy, right? Crazy. So I'm like, yo, we got something. And then that's when you end up going down like months later and shit like that. But that's when I knew y'all can make it. And I'm like, oh, shit. And at that time, I don't know, I was sick. I don't know what I had, like a cold or something. I just wasn't feeling good. And, bro, like, I remember after I was energized, we was on the stage, it was going crazy, man. And it was just like, yo, these niggas is really special. And you was dropping your music, June was dropping his music, and Jet and June 1 was fire. Plays was on it. Remember we shot the video in Louisville? Fuck with a weird ass videographer, never gave us the video, took money and then ran off. We like I remember when Jet got on, and shout out to Seven because that's my dog now. But he was like, it got to be some political shit that these niggas is on, and I'm like, bro, do you understand how hard we have grinded for years to even get in this position? You know,
the only reason why we got any love at all right off the back is because I'm not trying to, bro. It's because certain ones of us had names in the street. You feel me? That's the only reason why.
And we just had names, period.
Like,
we had names, period. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna say names in the street. I'm not a street nigga, bro. I'm a privileged preacher kid, like that girl said the other day. I am. My dad's a preacher, and I am very privileged. You know what I'm saying? Like, I won't even take that away, but I ain't no hoe either. So let's get that straight. But
your whole family from the ghetto.
They don't understand who my family is. They just don't understand that. When my cousins got in trouble, you had to come to my mama's house. You had to come to my daddy's house. Like, you had to come to my house, which was fun anyway. We had all the video games and the basketball courts and the football field for the backyard and all that. But when you got in trouble, you got to go see Aunt Dula. So that's they don't understand. My family really don't be playing on games. That's why when people say stupid shit to me, I'm like, you don't know who love me, bro. Like, they might hurt you for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Plus, I'm the one who likes hurting people. Anyways, I'm looking at this and I'm like, damn, these niggas is going crazy. And we just start like really coming together. And it was like Udi was always really big in a lot of things, like keeping the peace. Like, cause like I said, Jet has a short fuse, bro. And he and that's probably why he murdered everybody this year. But we about to get back to the music. Anyways, he kept the peace. We were good with everything. Everything was amazing. You went down. We kind of fell out. Not me and you, of course, but we had a situation.
Team issue. We had a
right.
We'll call it a team issue.
And
surrounding my situation.
And it's funny because me and you stayed in contact. Me and DJ Spud stayed in contact. And I remember being in California and Spud sending me Jet's video. And it was like 8 months later. And I'm like, why hasn't he made music? And I heard the video and I was like, that's just dope. I liked it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like that music. At the end of the day, I always want people to win. Like I said, I had that conversation with Wildstyle. Like, we don't agree politically at all, but you're dope at what you do, so I want you to win. So when I came home, I go to Ladies Love Lava. You know, I'm out there with Dre and JD and all them, you know what I'm saying, like all the basketball players. And I see Jet, and you're still locked down at the time. I had seen June earlier, like 2 months earlier at Bubba's. I seen June and Andre. We was chilling, and one thing I hate that when we weren't talking like that, I hate that I missed Chance being born. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm always there for that. You know what I'm saying? But Chance is the dog now. I love Chance. He can come over my house and get whatever he want. But I had seen June 2 months earlier, and Skip had just dropped "You for You," and I don't know if Skip wanted me to tell y'all this or not, but me and Skip actually like conversed, and I was over his house a lot listening to the album, and we like really like worked together on that album. I thought it was an amazing album. I thought he put a beautiful piece of work together. Shout out to Skip too. Both of them, Sorry for My Traumas, is dope. So he drops and it has an album release or a listening. He has a listening, and I pull up to the listening party. I see Watts and Josh, and Watts was like, "Bro, reach out," because Watts is that guy. And I'm like, "Watts, I've reached out. Nobody's reached out." He said, "Bro, you gonna have to make it happen." So while I'm at live, I see Jet, and Jet has like 5 girls around him. And I'm like, I leaned over and said, "We taught you well, bro. This is how you're supposed to look in the club." And he was like, "Yo, hit me up." And I was like, "All right, cool." So I hit him up. About a week later, he comes through, right? When he comes through, he has some amazing music that we still haven't put out yet. He has a song called "Stop the Comparisons," which he won. That's what made him win at Trees Fest. Dying of Thirst. He has a whole album called Space Tales. He has all this music. And I'm like, "What you been sitting on this for?" And he was like, "Oh, I just don't think they're ready for it," right? And I'm like, "All right, bro, whatever." And we sit down, and it's 2020 because it's damn near the pandemic, I think. And we sit down and we make Santiago Summers in literally 2 weeks. So we sit down and we make that album, and he makes all the beats because I didn't know he was making beats, but he made all the beats for Santiago Summers, plus Taxes on there, which is a song you and him did, which I thought was dope because you was locked down at the time. Lil Cuz calling me, shout out to Jameson, with the new era.
J-Mo.
But plus Tax was on it, and that was Jetty's idea. Like Jetty, a lot of things behind the scenes people don't know that Jet does. You know what I'm saying? That he doesn't get credit for. Like he wanted to make sure you was on the album. You know what I'm saying? So plus Tax, sure. Money was it? I got Money Habits. Jeff Bezos. Yeah, that made the album. Right. I thought that was one of the dopest songs I ever did. And then shout out to Chris. I know Chris probably thinks Jet did something, but it wasn't. It was me. So 2 days before we released Santiago Summers, maybe 3, Jet plays me Nothing Is Perfect. And I'm like, what? Dominic's on here. Chris is on here. Watts is on here. Put this shit on the albums for the team. And he was like, I don't know, bro. And I was like, nah, put it. But later on, Jet was like, he don't know because he realized that he wanted to do that with Chris. He wanted that to be Chris' song. I didn't know that at the time. I'm just like, this is good for everybody. Because at that time, I thought Jet was probably the number one person we was going to be pushing. So if he's going to get the most attention, then we need to make sure everybody's on the album. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was the play. And he was like, I don't know, bro. I forced that song on the album. And if you go look at Santiago Summers, probably the number one song right now. But Jet went on Santiago Summers, is it Summers? Santiago Summers? I don't know. He went full like rapper mode, like dope beats, rapper mode, like, you know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
He started understanding music.
And this is the thing I'm gonna say, and little bro might get mad at me for saying it, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I'm gonna tell you why Jet does not like that era of music right now.
Right.
Because although Jet was snapping, he hadn't yet got the breathing right with the music. The let it breathe, go back at it. He hadn't really mastered that part yet. And so he feels like that music from that era is not up to the standard of his current lyrical prowess. But lyrically, the shit, all this shit from that era.
He was so crazy. Saucy though. Like the faded shit was crazy. You know what I'm saying? And Witness and all that. That was it was so swag. But I remember, I'm gonna tell you the truth, honest I got. It's another story. It's gonna be so many stories. You're gonna have to do like part 1, part 2, part 3 to this, right?
Right.
I remember being at Watts house and we listened to Honcho. What was Travis and Quavo CD? Honcho Jack. We listened to that. And this is how I know Jetty absorbs everything. This dude's like, he might be Deadpool. Like, so we're listening to Honcho Jack, and we was like, yo, this shit hard, right? We listened to it, and I like Travis. Travis one of my favorite artists. So I'm like, yo, this shit is dope. And then we go to the crib, and that little studio was in the corner. That's when he recorded Witness. It was right off the energy of Honcho Jack. You know what I'm saying? And he went crazy on it. So, again, he made Santiago Summers, right? And we did a shit we doing is so fucking legendary, bro. We did an album release at Theo's house. At Theo's house, I bought 9 bottles of that weed juice.
Yeah.
I also bought 20 bottles of wine. So we had the weed juice, the people getting high. I had 20 bottles of wine, and we had liquor. And Theo is one of the best artists in the city. Shout out to Butter. When y'all go out and see all the like everything outside and the aesthetics and all the flowers and everything at Butter, that's Theo, right? So we shoot that at Theo's house, right? And we had the album release at Theo's house. It was just so fly and artistic and, you know, demure, let's say that, right? It was so fucking dope. And I don't think we get the credit for, like, I think John Foster, shout out to Johnny Foster, is another mentor of mine. He won't say that because we're the same age, but it's certain people I call to like really like understand life. John's one of them. And John was like, some people will see the sauce, steal it from you, and not point at where they got it, and then act like they never stole it from you, right? So when you look at, and I'm not taking shots at any artist, right? I'm not. I'm just saying, look at how we presented everything. Like, do you understand how dope it was to have that at Theo's house, the album release? You know what I'm saying? Like, and shout out to Candy. That's my mentor. She came. That's when we first got cool. So like, shit was amazing to have something that artistic. And shout out to Fitz, right? Because Jetty teams up with Fitz. All his fucking freestyle videos in Fitz studio. It's just art. And you was the first person to put us on that when we went to Atlanta. And we went to the what's the place with the tattoo place and everything? With Just Jay.
Studio 219.
Yeah. So you made me understand.
Homies, man. Shout out to Studio 219, man. Shout out to the homie Nate, man.
You made
my
me,
nigga Ant-Man.
Yeah, you made me see all that, and I appreciated it. So Jetty threw that party there, and shit was amazing. How much time we got left, Kev?
About 13 minutes.
Okay, cool. We can keep talking there. So Jet shoots Santiago Summers. You locked down the time. And I think we wrote that way. We shot Andy Bought a Basquiat, which is a fucking great name for a song, man. Like, and that's
Andy did buy a Basquiat.
He did. No, here's the
Andy
thing.
Andy bought a Basquiat.
Andy bought a Basquiat. I bought a pound of weed. That's a fucking crazy line, bro. So while we shooting Andy, that's another thing they don't understand. Like, when we really put effort and time into making music. So we, like, Andy Bought a Basquiat is a name that we thought about. Or Jetty, that's all Jetty. But it's a name that I'm like, yo, that's fly. When we did your album, when we did June's album, when we did Jet's album, we really think of names and the skits and everything. Like, think about how dope you was on You Could Have Been Here just doing the radio shit. Right? On some pimp shit, he's falling in love, he's falling out of love, it's whatever, it's his concept album. But you on the album doing the pimp shit and the interview shit was fly. You know what I'm saying? So they gotta respect the flyness and how we put shit together. Plus Tax, Jeff Bezos, because I got Money Hobbits, like the way we think of, like, even what's a dope song on Jetty's album? Denise Huxtable. Who thinks of that name? Right? But it's an SWV sample, so it's from the 90s. Who was the baddest chick in the 90s? Who did all the boys look up and be like?
Denise Huxtable.
Right. So that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're trying to bring that aura and that energy. We're trying to bring, so Jordan Peterson always says, we throw the baby away with the bathwater, right? We're trying to bring all the dopeness from the 90s to front. Like, we want to see everything that's dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, things that are bad, get them away. But the dopeness that comes from the 90s, that's what it is. And that's how You Could Have Been Here. And we can get to that later because that's a longer story. But You did. What did you do before you went in? On God.
Before I went in, obviously the first release on New Era was the Drip 2,
yeah.
Dripology 2, and then the project that I did. Shout out to DJ Danny. I did a project with DJ Danny,
right?
Called On God.
Like, how do we have all these connects? Like, people. That's why people don't understand. Like, you did that with DJ Danny before, like, everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They act like we don't know Ready Rock. Like, me and June, like, it's so many stories. Me and June,
homies, we grew up. With
yeah. Me and June went out to Onyx. Rest in peace, because it's strip club's dead now. We went out to Onyx when Ready Rock was running that shit, and we did the Pass the Ox with Ready Rock, and then we just sit down with Ready Rock and play all of June's album. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we know everybody, and I don't think people understand that. Like, we really do have like that pull because we've always been trill niggas, and when you trill, motherfuckers gonna fuck with you no matter what. You know what I'm saying?
You tap in with people and don't be on no weird goofy
you
shit.
You pay to play.
Fuck with you.
Yeah. Danny, you did it. So I met Danny at an Airbnb. I don't know why the fuck I was there. And we chopped it up, and then you end up getting really cool with it. I was like, yo, we got DJ Danny here. Just like DJ Spud.
I meet the nigga Danny. I meet Danny, bro. And me and him get cool. We hit it off. And then later on down the line, find out, like, nigga, we know all the same niggas. Like, bro, like,
right.
I'm like, damn. But I'm talking about Easy and them hollering at me like, damn, I'm see you tapped in with DJ Dan. That's the homie. I said, damn. I'm like, you know, y'all niggas know each other. I'm like, okay, man. And having that same story with a lot of people. So, and that'd be crazy, though. Like, when we have relationships with people, people don't be realizing when we do shit with people, we don't just be doing shit with people just because, oh, this motherfucker's good at this, he be popping. We do shit with people that we actually fuck with, bro.
Yeah.
It's actually my nigga. I actually talk to him.
It's a relationship.
Yeah, I actually fuck with, bro.
It's not like I want to fuck with you because you dope. It's like, no, like, you the homie. Like everybody we named been over my house.
Yeah,
because I got the crazy sound system, and we didn't play that. Like Jerry, shout out to Jerry. Jerry was with us last night. He came over, listened to You Could Have Been Here. He listened to Drunk Beautiful Girls too. Yeah. Like, you gonna do the same thing with your album? Probably put an article out on Straight to Fiercer. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you got to make relationships to make people feel comfortable. So you did On God. That shit was fire. That was a fire album. It made my niece say, I got a famous cousin. Like, Sam loved the album. And Jetty did Santiago Summers, and then June was just making music, and he came over and just dropped shit off with me and Jetty. That was 1988, and he had did a song with what's the dude that signed to QC, Mark Battles. We called it Yeezy Boost. That shit's fire. Yeah. We changed the name. It's called Yeezy Boost. Feeling Alive was on that. I Made It. Like, it was just an emotional dope. Like, you understood who June was. Yeah. But when he bought the album, Jetty felt like it didn't have the intro he needed. So me and Jetty was like, you're gonna name it 1988 because that's when he was born. And I sit down with Jet, and I was like, yo, let's figure out what albums came out in 1988. Out of nowhere, it was the golden age of hip-hop. It was Ice Cube and all that. Like, it was dope, right? So Jetty did the little mesh up at the beginning of the CD. That's supposed to be the intro, but Jetty needed a real intro. And that first song June has, I don't know if Jetty picked the beat. I don't know what happened, but he was like, you need to rap on this. June went crazy. That's when he said, ever since I had a son, I've been gaining shit to lose. So I think how deep that line is. You just had a daughter. Like, you consciously think about things differently now because I got to raise another human being. You know what I'm saying? Like, and actually, and I don't know if anybody gonna take this personal, but 1988 is Sam, my little brother's favorite album out of all the albums we made. Right? So Jetty helped put some shit together. They did Magic and Mike and Magic, and then they did another The Antidote. And June album was lit. 1988 was lit. He had a I'm Lit on it. It was a song called I'm Lit. It was a dope project. You just went home, but
and luckily where they had me at the time, we had the tablets and shit. So I'm listening to everything. Remember, we talking.
Remember, he said Hustle, we need you home. He said that on Antidote. Yeah.
I'm like, and I'm listening to these shits, and that's Watts had that damn, what was that? The No Love joint.
Listen,
Love and that other
listen
joint.
What I'm about to tell you.
Like, oh my God.
Listen what I'm about to tell you about Watts. How much time we got, Kevin? 6 minutes. Listen what I'm about to tell you. That No Love shit Watts did is one of by far the most creative shits that Indianapolis has ever seen. For one, he's singing and doing all his rock star shit. The whole album is fucking fire, right?
Yeah.
Then he made a whole mini movie about 20 to 30 minutes long. Nobody's done nothing like that. And it was like amazingly shot. Like that was some fire shit. And I remember I told you when you was in jail, I called you and I was like, cuz like watch on some other shit. And then Jetty got him back with telling me lies. You know what I'm saying? Like so like Watch was on some like, yo, that was fire. Like I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Like if y'all don't know, and I know we don't know when we're gonna put this out, but whatever. But if y'all never listened to the No Love, go look it up and then look at Watt's movie with it. He's talking to a therapist. Like Watts is that like when everything pops off, I would make Watts like the head of like, you know, something like, you know what I'm saying? Like
the direction.
Yeah. Cause that's who he is. Watts is a CEO type dude. He understands working out, discipline, getting together. He came to me with an idea. It was like, yo, we need to meet up twice a month. We need to just get in the studio, rent that shit for 8 hours. You know what I'm saying? Just sit and vibe, you know, whatever. And then we need to make sure we're rapping every day bars. And I'm like, yo, that makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He has a great work ethic. He got that Kobe work ethic. Yeah.
So on me. So man, shout out to all the homies, man. So we are at the end of the show, man.
Anything else you want to say, man?
This is free sauce.
This is part one.
Yeah, this is
because we haven't
history.
We haven't gotten into beefs because most of the beefs came from me.
Sauce. Man, we ain't gonna get into none of them right now. But I will say this:
they come from me, Kev.
To close this shit out, man. Listen, man. Please, pretty please, man. Just don't disrespect our journey and our vision and what we've been through to accomplish any and everything that we have and everything that we plan to accomplish in the future. Niggas have been through hell and hot water behind this shit. Niggas done been to prison. Niggas done had lost relationships behind this. Niggas done lost family members.
Niggas been in shootouts.
Niggas done been in shootouts. It's been niggas done caught cases and shit that, you know what I mean, luckily didn't make it. It's been a lot of shit that happened behind this, man. This shit was not cake baked. We didn't just come out and everybody showed us the love and we get to
hell no. Do you remember everybody being over my house?
Hold on, favoritism.
Do you remember everybody being over my house was like, yo, these DJs ain't fucking with us, bro? And I said, they're not. And then he was like, yeah. I was like, all right, we have a DJ. Just like let's blow him up. And Spud ended up being that dude. Like when you like J-Mo just called me. Like, you know what I'm saying? When you got DJs, they can play the music. And I got relationships with everybody, bro. One thing I know how to do is maintain relationships. I used to think that, but since I like been on Team Trump, a lot of people I've maintained relationships with kind of like sliding on me, and I don't like it. Like I said, I almost got jumped on the internet when it came to them girls, right? And it was funny. I did get jumped literally on the internet. No, I didn't get jumped physically, but here's what I will say, and I want to end it with this, and I want you to post this, okay? I had made a post about I don't think married people should have social media because you don't understand, like, imagine being married and then, like, I've seen married women jump on my post, like, look forward to talking to me every day. And I don't think it's like they want to fuck me. But it's like you're being influenced by another man. You know what I'm saying? And then you're interacting with him. And then let's say you have some admiration for him in any type of way. He's reachable. He's touchable. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing go both ways. So I'm saying that because I see certain things, bro, and I've seen some very dangerous rhetoric. And I want it to be like put to light. So when these girls were saying all this stuff about me, I was so unbothered. I was Omarion. Like, none of this shit affected me at all. I didn't give a fuck about what they was talking about. You're not going to stop my wave. You're not going to stop me from getting anything I want. I got a big family. I always got swag. I always got my people around me. You're not going to stop no type of movement this way, right? So, but people are hitting me in the comments and people are hating and saying he ain't shit. And well, that's cool. I don't really give a fuck about that. But here's the problem I have with modern women. Okay, so you're on the internet and you're doing everything you're doing, and I'm not taking shots towards anybody. I'm not going to say anything. But you're on the internet, you're doing what you're doing. You're getting the attention, you're selling merchandise, whatever you're doing. It's cool. I don't have a problem with that. But you say something to me, and I took it a certain way. And when I seen it, I was like, okay, let's just have I invited her here. Let's have a conversation, bro. You know what I'm saying? Me saying I want to have a conversation went to full-on black women hating on me. Not hating on me, just hating me. It wasn't hating on me. It was just like, fuck him. He ain't shit, blah, blah, blah. Cool. I'm okay with that. But they got to understand, and I want women to pay attention to what I'm about to say. You cannot walk men into battles over stupid shit that they are not aware of, right? So at some point in one of the comments, they was like, I ain't gonna say the name. They was like, Mr. So-and-so better not find out, right? And to me, I was like, it was a girl who said it, who literally I've shared her post for 10 years straight. I've sent people to her store. All I do is support her. When I see her, I'll buy her a drink. And you say, I hope Mr. So-and-so, because it's Shorty's husband, don't find out. Find out what? Like, how do you know I won't crash out? Like, this is what I mean, that you got to be careful. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know who you're dealing with. And I'm not saying I'm a gangster. Again, I am a privileged preacher kid. I am that person. But as you said earlier, my family is full of gangsters. So you don't know when you're saying things, how you put your husband in an inappropriate situation just because you want to feel a certain way about something, right? And I observed and looked at the situation and was like, it's not worth it. You know what I'm saying? Me and June talked about it. We laughed about it. And he was like, yo, just do what you do. And I was like, all right, cool. I left it alone, right? But what if I got youngers under me who like crashing out? That line Jetty said when he was like, I got some niggas around me be hunting for blood. They ready to crash out, right? Huh? Am I done?
And this is
okay. Yeah. So what I'm saying is, be careful, because when it comes to protection in a woman, a man has to protect her in a lot of different ways, but a woman has to protect a man by being demure, by being classy, by understanding like drama and stuff like that. Don't do
the mayhem you can cause.
Yeah. You don't understand the mate, because men go to war for their queens, bro. You understand? And I would understand if the dude approached me on some gangster shit. I would calm him down, because I teach conflict resolution classes. Relax, sir. Let's read these text messages before it crash out. Because nothing I said was disrespectful. But the reality of it is, you could have put yourself and your family in a bad position, because it is people around me that like crashing out. Yeah. And the thing is that because I'm calm, it's cool. But Kev said it's the end. So this is free sauce.
This is free sauce, man. Welcome back episode, man. New era history, man. Make sure y'all stay tuned for the next one.
It's probably going to be like 5 parts to this, man. It's so many stories.
Make sure y'all stay tuned for the next episode. It's going to be very controversial. Yes.
Oh, shit. What we talking about?
We going to